You think you know Jamaica? Sunshine, beaches, reggae, right? But what if I told you the island's soul was forged in fire, in a fight for freedom that echoes to this day? Let's take a trip back in time, not to the tourist spots, but to the heart of the Jamaican struggle. Our story starts long before the beaches were lined with resorts. It starts in the rugged, misty mountains of Portland, with a figure who is more legend than woman. Queen Nanny of the Maroons. Imagine, it's the early 1700s. Escaped African slaves, known as the Maroons, are carving out a free life in the mountains, constantly fighting off the British. And leading them is Nanny. She wasn't just a warrior. She was a military genius, a spiritual leader, a symbol of unbreakable resistance. For over 30 years, she outsmarted the British Army, using guerrilla tactics, her knowledge of the land, and a spirit so fierce it became legendary. Nanny's fight secured a treaty and a piece of freedom for her people, planting a seed of rebellion that would never, ever die. Fast forward about 130 years. Slavery has been abolished, but is the fight over? Not even close. We move from the mountains of Portland to the flat, sun-baked plains of St. Thomas. The year is 1865. The so-called emancipated black population are anything but free. They face crushing poverty, unfair taxes, and a justice system that's a complete joke. They can't vote, they can't get land, and their children are starving. In this pressure cooker of injustice, a new leader emerges, a Baptist deacon named Paul Bogle. Bogle wasn't a mountain warrior like Nanny. He was a simple farmer, a man of faith. But he had that same fire in his belly. He saw his people suffering and knew something had to be done. He organized, he petitioned, he even walked 45 miles to Spanish Town to plead their case to the governor, only to be turned away without even being seen. The message from the authorities was clear: your lives do not matter. This is where the story explodes. On October 11, 1865, Paul Bogle and hundreds of his followers marched not with guns at first, but with a deep sense of desperation, to the Morant Bay courthouse. They were there to protest an unjust ruling against a poor farmer. But the colonial militia, jumpy and arrogant, fired into the crowd. That was the spark. The peaceful protest turned into a full-blown uprising, the Morant Bay Rebellion. The courthouse was burned. The cruel local official, the Custos, was killed. For a few days, the rebels held control, but the colonial government's response was swift and absolutely brutal. Governor Edward John Eyre declared martial law. What followed was a massacre. Over 439 people were executed, including Paul Bogle, who was hanged from the